we put them into some sort of like, we tabulate that, for you to be my friend, you have to be able to do one, two, three, four. And therefore, if you are not doing one, two, three, four, you cannot be my friend.
Hey loves, welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for just bracing us with your presence. So, definitely leave your like if you like this video and leave your comment right below. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Your support is much, much appreciated. So Today we are back with another video. We are going to talk about friendships, expectations, and what really friendship is all about. So to kick us off, I asked a couple of my friends to just tell us what their expectations of friendships are. So let's get right into the videos.
3 points. The three major things that I expect from my friends, and the first one being, um, I expect my friends to be there for me, um, even if we're outside the environment that made us friends. Like let's say the church, um, be church. I always look at how we're gonna be friends if I move to a different, probably city or country, whatever it is. School again. I always look at, okay, are we gonna be friends in the next, I don't know how many years? Are we gonna share life together? And be it like even like parkrun, I always look at those things, that are we gonna be friends like outside the common thing that we have. And I think for me, it's what influenced that was, I used to be a person where I had like tons of friends in high school, and I used to think that, what, these are actually my friends. And so what happened was, I actually did change schools, and when I did change schools, um, I noticed that some people started fading away out of my life. And then as time went on, by the end of the year, believe it or not, I had like friends that I could count in like one hand. And then with time again, because like nothing was built on solid ground, I actually noticed that I didn't have friends from my old school, and I spent 4 years in this school, right? So I think that's the thing that influenced that expectation. And secondly, um, I think I would expect my friends to sort of like, open up to me. So I think this it's also like sort of like linked to what I just said before. Um, what I mean by this is, I noticed that most of my friends, we were not really friends, because these people were not opening up to me, and I was not, in myself again, I was not opening up to them. And so I even noticed this, that so everything was just shallow, everything was made out of milk, no solid food towards our friendship. And so I think that's something that I started looking out for people who I would know like every single thing about them, and likewise they'll know like every single thing about me. So again, with that, comes a lot of trust, and I learned that I sort of have to build the trust with the person, and then sort of like share this type of things. So I do have friends who I'm like that, where I don't have to explain my life to tell them what's going on in my life right now, where they already know what's really going on now. Or I have friends where when we do catch up, we spend like hours, tons of hours, just catching up, because like we're literally mentioning every single thing that's happening.
Friendships are. So I think for me, it has to be like I need to feel supported and I need to feel safe in that friendship. I need to know that my friends, like they have my back. I need to have that sense, like feeling like they have my back, and more than anything, feel safe with them because I feel like I, for one, I felt so unsafe for the longest time in my life. So with friendship, safety is very important, and I need to um, there needs to be some level of authenticity. Like you need to be authentic. Like you need to be real with me. You need to be willing to tell me things that maybe I don't want to hear. Especially let's say I'm in a wrong path and I'm thinking I got this. You need to be that person that is able to tell me that no, Aru, this is not right. It does not matter whether it's going to offend me or it's going to make me feel uncomfortable. You need to be brave enough to be able to communicate things to me like that. And also, you need to be very naked before me. I need to know who you really are. I know it's something that I, for one, am working on, to be really authentic, to be naked before my friends, for them to really see the full view of who I am, and yeah, for me, I feel like those are the things that are coming to my head to say you need to be real. And also, I don't like friendships that are overwhelming. Like, a person's like, yo, you didn't text me this week, you didn't, like, okay, nothing wrong with that. Like, we need to be there for one another as people, but I need people who need to, like, someone who will be able to respect my space. Like, sometimes I just want to get away, I just want to go AWOL, so that I can be with my feelings and with my thoughts. And I feel like I like that about my best friend, because she respects that a lot about me, and she gives me that space to breathe. And I like that in friendships. Like, we need to, yes, we're into each other's spaces, but we need to respect those spaces. We need to have some boundaries, and respect them. So yeah, I think that's what's coming to
Point.
my mind.
Basically, the third one revolves around spending time with one another in a way. So whether it's a phone call, whether it's just us taking a walk, whether it's you coming to my place and we spend like some time having like pub together or something, that's like real time there. So I think when it comes to friendship, it's a really important thing that my friends are there for me, like be it when I'm broke, when I'm going through the most. Just yeah, I just need someone to listen to me, and also I need someone also who I can listen to. Like for instance, there's this time that I thought I was going through the most until like I opened up to my friend, and then he opened up back, and then turns out our problems were really different. I mean, my problems were probably like the palm of my hand, and then his problem was the whole person. And for me, it's kind of, so I need people who show me these things um, that that help me in life in a way, that spend time with me to sort of like change my perspective towards things. And also, you need people who are gonna celebrate your birthdays, even though like sometimes you feel like you don't need people to celebrate your birthdays. It really goes a long way. And yeah, I think that's all.
Welcome back, loves. I hope that you watched those videos with an open mind and that they have sparked a lot of questions or a lot of opinions or a lot of comments from your side. So, there's another point of view that I have received from one of my friends who has told me what his expectations of friendships are. And this is what he had to say, because he typed it out. So I'm just gonna read it to you guys. He says that on my side, for the past couple of years, I've been learning what to expect from my friends, but I also learned that what I expect of them, I am also able to do. I have lost a lot of friends and gained a lot of friends because I was figuring them out. And then he continues to say, my friends, I expect my friends to do I expect to do life with my friends. So which means they are involved in my life and my whereabouts. Same applies with me to them. Also, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, they should be involved in my life as I am involved in theirs. I've had to learn that each friend has got a role that they play. So I don't expect them to do more, because I have learned to appreciate each role they play in my life. Also, I leave a space or a place of disappointment because they're not always perfect, and the same applies to me. However, I don't expect physical support from them because I don't want that to be involved in our relationship. One guy once said to me, friendship, like a season, they come and go. But those who stick around, they become family. So, yeah, that's what my friend had to say about that. Whew, that was a lot to take in. So I have basically been learning a lot about friendships. I have been reading this plan called Messy Beautiful Friendships by Christine Hoover. And that plan just blew my mind. You can really find it in the Bible app. It just blew my mind because it just changed my whole perspective about friendships. So she talks about how friendships are a byproduct of being concerned about others than yourself. And I was like, what? That's just an unpopular belief, okay? That is just an unpopular belief about friendships. And then she goes on to talk about wish dreams in friendships. And I think this part really resonated with me a lot. She says that we tend to have like certain expectations about women in our lives or men in our lives, just friends in our lives, that we put them into some sort of like, we tabulate that, for you to be my friend, you have to be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And therefore, if you are not doing 1, 2, 3, 4, you cannot be my friend. I'm like, sure, I didn't even know that, there's even a term for that. But then she talks about how like that is just really like robbing us of an opportunity to actually invest in really great friendships. Okay? And she talks about how friendship doesn't happen according to our dream world. It is not linear, static, or formulaic. And I'm just like, yo. And she then goes on to talk about how friendship is formed between two imperfect people in an imperfect world. And I'm like, yo. Because if you think about it, the reason why you are holding someone up to a certain standard is because you expect them to be this and this and that, and therefore if they are not this and this and that, they cannot be your friend. That's just a whole lot of like list that you have set up for yourself about who can or who cannot be your friend. And she just talks about how like friendship should bring grace, forgiveness, and truth of Jesus into the messy realities, but it is mercy. Sure. And then she talks about how friendship is formed, ne? In real life where sin, suffering, and conflict and all exist. And I'm like, yo, that is so true. Because in friendship, you are bound to hate each other. Like, that is just so, it's inevitable. You are gonna hate each other, but it's just the way you guys are gonna move forward with it. Are you now gonna hold someone onto that, or are you gonna find a way forward? Because we all know that, like with any relationship, communication is key, right? So people are gonna hurt you, people are gonna sin against you. But does it mean if someone sins against you or hurts you, then it's game over for you guys? Is that what it's about, you know? And she also talks about how when we hold a standard above the heads of the people God has placed in our lives, we constantly get disappointed by the realities, complexities, and difficulties in our friendships. This is so true, guys. This is so true. Again, when you have a certain standard over someone, and usually it's things that are very materialistic, you know, yeah, it's really things that are materialistic, like people have to either give you certain things for them to be your friends, or people need to do certain things for you to be your friend, or I don't know, it's usually like very materialistic things, right? So yeah. And then who really is supposed to be your friends? I think let's talk about this. Who really is supposed to be your friends? This plan, guys, you can see how excited I am to talk about this plan because, again, it blew my mind. So she talks about how you have to surround yourself with people who have enriched you, beyond measure, pointed you towards Christ and challenged you. Guys, you don't want to be friends with people who do not challenge you. You don't want yes men in your life. You do not need yes men in your life. You need people who can challenge you, people who can help you grow, people who can tell you when you are in the wrong, and people who can point you in the right direction. Those are your friends. Those are your friends. And then she talks about how you need to be friends with people who know you, and people that you know at the deepest level. People who know what makes you happy and what makes you sad. People who can tell when something is wrong, even if you don't tell them. I mean, the second part of it, I edited myself because I'm like, yeah. But the point is, you need to be friends with people who know you and whom you know in the deepest level. You need to be able to know your friends, and your friends need to be able to know you. Guys, we all seek to be known. Imagine if someone knows you to the deepest level, guys. People who are interested in your life, people do not who do not make everything to be about them, you know. And I think this is something that I'm learning. I'm learning about myself because I tend to talk a lot, and because I tend to talk a lot, I can finish a conversation with someone where the whole conversation was carried by me talking about me the whole time. So I've been learning really a lot to talk about, to just ask more questions, to seek to understand other people, to seek to know them even much better, and not make everything to be about me. So those are the kinds of friends that you need. People who would ask deeper questions to try to understand your struggles. People who will listen when you need them to listen. People that you can pick up a call now to call them, and then they're gonna answer that call. Or even if they don't, like, they can always come back later to say, hey, I saw your missed call. What's up? You need those kind of people. People who will go an extra mile with you. People who will enrich your life. And then he talks about also that you need people who point you towards grace and truth. I mean, this one, I think it was also covered in the first point that I made. Yeah, you don't need people who are gonna sugarcoat things in your life. You need people who are gonna take you with to heaven one day. You know? Um, yeah. So I think that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. And I mean, I think this is not without understanding that there is like different levels of friendships, right? In your friend circles, there are different levels. And I remember one day, actually, one day I went to visit my friend, and she has like a board where she had like a whole I don't know if I should say a diagram or whatever on her board in her bedroom, where she basically like wrote, like she had like a circle that says, where she wrote like names of her friends that are in the inner circle, and then she had another circle after that that has her friends that are just on the, like, you have like some people have best friends. Well, I don't identify anyone as a best friend because I don't know what a best friend is. But I have like people that are my people that I call my closest friends. Those are my people. Okay, those are my go-to people. So she had written like her closest friends on the inside, and then she had like another circle where she wrote like people who are not in this level, but they are a bit closer as well, right? And then she wrote like another level of friends, but like the more you go into the outer layer of the circle, then it means that the friendship is a little bit further than the ones that are in the inner circle. And I looked at that, and luckily, for the love of God, I found myself in the inner circle because that's where I considered her to be. And I was just thinking, like, if she had actually put me like on the outer circle, how would that have made me feel? you know and I think in the past couple of months as well, I've also learned that people that you consider to be your friends might not necessarily consider you as friends, and that's also okay. But ultimately, remember, friendship is about serving, is about being concerned with another as opposed to yourself, and it's about just being serving to another person. And I think when you now make that the goal of your friendship, you do not get hurt a lot, and you just basically take away all the expectations and enjoy the ride of this messy beautiful friendships. So I hope that this helps you if you are going through any difficulty in your friendships. And I hope that, if you have any disagreements with what I just said, definitely this is like a discussion, guys. I love our discussions. So you can definitely leave your disagreement below, because I'm not a master of friendships, and I don't think that the Christine, the woman who wrote the plan, is a master of friendships. But yeah, I guess to each their own. But yeah, this is a discussion. I would really love to know what you guys think about this topic. Let's discuss in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope I see you in the next video.